Hi, love.
Hello, Katrina. I have something to say.
What's happened?
I'm not coming home.
You have a call waiting.
This is Ivan Locke.
We have a situation here. You're the man in charge of the entire operation, but you've decided you ain't gonna be there.
I'm not gonna turn back.
Hey, Dad, are you coming back?
Sean, something's happened. I need you to hold it together for me. It will be a long night.
So much of this movie weighs on Tom Hardy's performance, and I imagine that there's a lot of trust involved. So what creates the trust between you guys? What did you immediately recognize in him that made you say, yeah, this is the guy?
I think he's got, first of all, an ability to transform himself totally, which is, I know it's what actors do, but he's more thorough, I think, and he's more complete. So it's a more difficult thing, I think, to transform yourself into an ordinary person, which is what Ivan Locke is. I think when you transform into a monster or a baddie, you know, that there is theatre you can hide behind. But with this, it's more of a complex issue. But Tom is one of the, well, I think he's the best actor we have.
Yeah.
And he also has that thing where if he's on screen with other actors, people look at him, which I don't think is something you can learn or teach. It's there or it isn't. And if somebody's going to be on the screen for 90 minutes, that's what you need.
We are facing $100 million worth of losses.
Listen, I will take care of it. I'm trying to do the right thing.
Can you tell me, like, what does the scene look like from your angle? Like, take me out of just the frame. Like, how are the cameras rigged up to the car, and how do you communicate with them?
We were on a low loader, like a flatbed truck. The car has the wheels taken off so that it's at the right level relative to the other traffic. I'm in front of the vehicle under a cover with a monitor and with the sound man. The cameras are mounted in the car or just outside the car before we set off, so there are 3 cameras at all times. I've got visual communication with Tom and also audio through a Motorola in the vehicle. And also the other actors are in a conference room in the hotel near the motorway. And I've got audio contact with them, so when we start shooting we set off on the road and drive. I say action only once. I cue the other actors to make their calls in sequence, and we shoot the whole film beginning to end, take a break and then shoot it again. And we shot it 16 times.
Dang. I was gonna ask, I was like, there's that scene where it's so moving where he's talking to his son, or at least he's listening to the voicemail, and he starts crying. I was going to say, like, how do you call cut on that? But I guess you just left it running.
Let it go. That's the whole beauty of doing it this way. I mean, the whole team we put together are people who make films in conventional ways. I mean, they're all top of the tree in their fields. And we all sort of took a vacation from the way films are normally made and decided to do something different, you know, and just see if this could work. And everyone was so invested in it that I think it comes through on the screen.
So if you shot it all at once, did you run into any problems, like, I don't know, on the road or something?
It wasn't so much on the road. I mean, there were things like, you know, there's a rattle in the car.
Right. And
normally you pull over and spend a couple of hours trying to find where the rattle is coming from. But with this, we just shot it and carried on, and in the edit, it adds to the tension when you hear this sort of ticking noise. We had a problem with because the car wasn't really driving, we hadn't bothered to fill it up with petrol. And as we were doing shooting, the car would suddenly make this weird noise, and we didn't know what it was until we called the manufacturer and found out that it's the car telling you it's low on petrol. So that noise would be made, and every time it happened, Tom would sort of bang the dashboard. And instead of not using that, we just replaced that noise with "you have a call waiting." So it looks as if he's reacting to that. Awesome. So it's just always trying to invite the chaos of the world in and see what good it does.
Right.
You make one mistake, the whole world comes crashing down around you.
When will you get here?
I have to fix it.
Ivan, you're fired.
Please, please, please.
Where are you?
I was 23 years old.
Run now, go!
Besides The Detectives, which you did earlier in your career, and you did Redemption last year, and Locke. So, with this newfound love for directing, which film would you be most interested in looking back from the director's perspective of the films like you pinned yourself?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know, because once they're made, they are so particular. That's how it feels as if that's how they always would have been.
Yeah.
Once they're made, and there's a couple of scripts that are not yet made that I would possibly think about directing. But I really do want to start approaching things that I write for conventional films are fine, but things that I'm going to direct, I'm going to try and find ways of just capturing the performance, and because that's the thing I think that it most interests me.
I think your version of Eastern Promises would have been good.
Well, we're thinking about doing Eastern Promises 2, which is interesting. The script's written, so it's a question of...
You did it yourself?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cronenberg interested?
We're in discussions.
Okay.
Don't threaten me!
They say there's a twist.
It's all gone to hell.
I will do what needs to be
You
done.
lost your mind.
After you finish the script, what makes you think that this is like something that you want to direct and or give it to somebody else?
No, I know before I start to write if I'm going to direct it or not. So it's a particular sort of story that perhaps another director wouldn't want to do anyway. So if I know I'm going to direct it, I can use a shorthand with myself.
Right.
That I don't have to do what you normally do, which is to try and paint the picture a bit more fully. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine ever directing someone else's work, for example. So it's a very personal thing.
Right.
Stick to the
Are
plan.
you still there, Ivan? Ivan?
This is my last question, and this is the last day for me being here on the behalf of my university.
Oh, really?
And I always conclude on this question, so I'm gonna have to retire it, and it really saddens me. But I always say, if you could teach a college course of your creation, what do you think you would teach?
Well, I suppose it'd have to be screenwriting. I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Making lager, maybe. I had a brewery at one point.
Yeah. I'd like to take a class on like the business side of filmmaking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a solid business these days.
Yeah.
Hey Dad, are you coming home?